Hey guys, welcome back to another course video. So today guys, we're going to be going over how to really hire the freelancers, the script I go through to just go ahead and get them on the team and give them all the information they need to know. So I'm going to go ahead and give you guys an example on my computer. So pretty much obviously if you watched our previous video, make sure you did, but we went ahead and applied to get people to come to our job. And we got one application within 21 hours, which actually isn't that bad for a new account that has no experience at all. So if you look at the person that went ahead and applied for a job, we can see the one recommendation, and I guess his name is Muhammad Ali of video editing. Okay, so like pretty much it's author, and let's see, what I usually do is like obviously like you want to wait till you get more applications than just one, but for the sake of the video, I gotta get this out for you guys, but I'll give you an example with just one. But generally speaking, you're going to have more than one. You're gonna have multiple people applying for your job, so then you can go through the review process. Typically what you can do is you guys will go ahead, I'll give you guys an overview. You guys can see right here, there's a like and there's a dislike right here. So for example, if you don't like the scriptwriter, you can simply dislike and they are archived. They disappear, right? You don't have to have them in your way. You can just quickly go through the applicants that have the best shot of getting hired, right? That have all the qualifications. If you like an editor or like a scriptwriter, whoever you're hiring, if you like the person, you can go ahead and do a like, and that way you can go ahead and get a small, short list of who is qualified that you want to then message to see if you can get a job going on. So, for example, we only have one guy, so we might as well check out the one dude that we do have. So if you click on the person's name right here, you guys can see that there's a lot of stuff that we can go ahead and look at based on his experience and everything. So it tells us that he doesn't have any previous experience on Upwork. He hasn't got any other job on Upwork. He hasn't made any money off of Upwork. That can be a good thing and it can be a bad thing. The good thing is that means he's probably hungry. He's hungry to win. He's hungry to make money. He's hungry to work hard, which is a good thing. What is a bad thing about that is that means that you don't necessarily know his work ethic though, right? You don't truly know him. You can assume that he's gonna be a hard worker, but sometimes those same people that you would think is a hard worker can sometimes be slacky or lazy or not put the hard work in. So, but regardless, we're gonna go ahead and use him as an example. So you guys can see he wants $25 like we put up. We can go ahead and read a bunch of stuff that he sent us. So here's one thing. What is some of your previous work? Although I was brought as an editor for Wine Warriors, I also received a producer credit for crafting this storyline that was meant to both educate and entertain. I have previously worked on scripts during my internship at the Miami-based Florida Film House, which is good, he has some experience, and wrote 90 plus pages for my own script called Flashback. I have worked on features in Miami, both on production, assistant, and video editor. You can find the best examples of my work in my profile or here on YouTube. This video I worked with was shot on Red Dragon and 5K and sometimes a red one, so I have dealt with different ranges of quality with the same project. So I guess this video isn't the video that he's giving as a suggestion isn't necessarily a script, I don't know. Maybe like the actual like video, the way it's performed, he did a script. Usually guys, when they don't have that many examples that they can show you, I always just ask them to give me an example. And what I'll usually do, this is the script I'll go through. So the script I'll go through, so for example, let's say that we wanted to go ahead and give him a shot. You can message him right here. And you can say, hey, would love to get to know you and see if you would be a good fit for our company. Could you write a 100 to 200 word sample script for us to see and get a feel of how you would perform. Just basic stuff like that. You're gonna ask for a sample because you wanna see if the person's actually good at what they're doing. So I usually ask for a sample, and then after that, I'll go ahead and I'll send them the message to go ahead and get a sample going. So when you message him, he's gonna probably message you back, and when he messages you back, generally what they end up asking for, guys, is when they message you back, they're going to go ahead and give you a sample, right? You're gonna work with them to go ahead and get that sample. They're gonna give you a sample, whether it be, if it's a narrator, they're gonna give you a 1 minute or 30-second narration for you to understand their voice and everything. When they give that stuff over to you, what you're gonna do is obviously you're gonna be like, okay, is this good, is this bad, whatever. You're gonna figure that out based on, you know, if it's intriguing to you, if the person knows how to do it. After that, what you're going to go ahead and do is you're gonna run through this kind of script. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is run through this kind of script I'm gonna show you. The first thing you would ask, assuming he went ahead and sent you a, a sample, you would ask him, okay, great, love the sample, think this can work, was curious if the $25 for the 2,000 word script that we mentioned in our job application will work fine for you. If so, here's our documentation for you to get started and understand the rules we have in place. Also, what is your email so we can add you to our project management website, Trello? You can go ahead and ask for that. So then what you can do, guys, is you can go ahead and get the script link, the link to the documentation of the script. And then you can go ahead and just simply paste it right here, guys, and then boom, you just send the message over to them, and then they got all the information they need to know to get started. So boom, I just send the message over to them. That way, once they agree, yeah, I'm down for that amount of money, this is long-term work, that's great, let's do it. You know, if you're gonna pay me long-term, then that's gonna be great. Sometimes the objections that they have, guys, is that sometimes they'll come back to you and say, well, you see, that's too low for me. You can always come back to them if they say it's too low. You can say, oh, I'm sorry about that, but this is long-term work. You know, most of your clients are not gonna be long-term work. A lot of them are gonna be flat rate. So wouldn't you be willing to go a little bit lower of cost if you know that this is gonna be a long-term position, you're gonna get paid consistently throughout whatever months? You see what I'm saying? That's one way to go against the objection of, well, this is too low of a cost. If any freelancer ever approaches you with that, that's one thing you can do. But this is pretty much all you have to do, guys, is message them something like that, and then that'll get their attention, then they will get started. If they agree to the rate that you're offering, they'll go ahead and message you back, send you their email, you add their email to Trello, which I'll show you guys right over here. So to add people on Trello, what you can do is you can go up to invite right here, and you can just simply invite someone based on their email address. So you can go ahead and type in their email and then send them an invitation, so then tell them to check their email, and boom, they're inside of the Trello. But that's really all you have to do, guys. It's really simple. It's just communication. That's all it is. It's just talking to them, be like, hey, you know, we want to work for me. It's really simple stuff, guys, when it comes down to getting freelancers. The cool thing with freelancers is it's not hard to get them, because they're obviously applying for your job, which means they obviously want the work. They obviously want to work with you. So it's way easier than randomly going to someone on the street and be like, hey, want to work for me? Because that doesn't make sense. They're not in the business for that. So this is really simple stuff, guys. Just communicate, just go through the script I went through. Again, objections. The only objection I've ever experienced in my life was, well, that's too low of a cost or money that you're gonna pay me. That's the only objection I've ever gotten in my entire life of doing this. And what I would always say to you guys is, some of them are not gonna wanna work with you. Some of them are just not going to, but a lot of them, from my experience, is I always hit them with the exact same pitch, and I simply tell them, look, this is long-term work, so are you willing to go a little bit lower, knowing that it's consistent work over a span of a few months or whatever, how long we do YouTube? Are you willing to take a sacrifice of a little pay cut, knowing that you'll long-term make more money than a lot of your other clients who only pay you for one job? You see what I'm saying? Simple stuff like that is how you go ahead and get around any objection like that. So that's how I get around a lot of my situations.